Welcome to Positive Atheism English Channel. Today I am going to read out you an article, How the Gods Grow, which is written by an atheist, Robert Greene Ingersoll. Ladies and gentlemen, priests have invented a crime called blasphemy. That crime is the breastwork behind which ignorance, superstition, and hypocrisy have crouched for thousands of years and shot their poisoned arrows at the pioneers of human thought. Priests tell us that there is a God somewhere in heaven who objects to a human being thinking and expressing his thought. Priests tell us that there is a God somewhere who takes care of the people of this world, a God somewhere who watches over the widow and an orphan, a God somewhere who releases the slave, a God somewhere who visits the innocent man in prison. The same God that has allowed men for thousands of years to burn to ashes human beings simply for loving that God. We have been taught that it is dangerous to reason upon these subjects, extremely dangerous, and that of all crimes in the world, the greatest is to deny the existence of that God. Redden your hands in innocent blood, steal the bread of an orphan, deceive, ruin, and desert the beautiful girl who has loved and trusted you. And for all this, you may be forgiven. For all this, you can have the clear writ of that bankrupt court of the gospel. But deny the existence of one of these gods, and the tearful face of mercy becomes lurid and eternal hate. The gates of heaven are shut against you, and you, with an infinite curse ringing in your ears, commence your wanderings as an immortal vagrant, as a deathless convict, and an eternal outcast. I am told that this being watches over us, takes care of us. And the other day I read a sermon, you will hardly believe it, but I did. I had nothing else to. I had read everything in that paper, including the advertisements. So I read this sermon. It was a sermon by Ravi, Mr. Moody, on prayer, in which he took the ground that our prayer should be, Thy will be done. And he seemed to believe that if we prayed that prayer often enough, we could induce God to have his own way. He gives an instance of a woman in Illinois who had a sick child, and she prayed that God would not take from her arms that babe. She did not pray, Thy will be done, but she prayed, according to Mr. Moody, almost a prayer of rebellion and said, I cannot give up my babe. God heard her prayer and the child got well. And Mr. Moody says he was an idiot when it got well. For 15 years, that woman watched over and took care of that idiotic child. And Mr. Moody says, how much better would it have been if she had allowed God to have had his own way. Think of a God who would punish a mother for speaking to him from an agonizing heart and saying, I cannot give up my babe, and making the child an idiot. What would the devil have done under the same circumstances? That is the God we are expected to worship. I arrange myself with the opposition. The next day, I read another sermon preached by the Devet Tamek, a man of not much fancy but of great judgment. He preached a sermon on dreams and went on to say that God often visited us in dreams and that he often convinces men of his existence in that way. So far as I am concerned, I had rather see something in the light. And according to that sermon, there was a poor woman in England, a pauper, who had the rheumatism, and there was another pauper who had not the rheumatism, and the pauper who had not the rheumatism used to take food to the pauper that had. After a while, the pauper without rheumatism died, and then the pauper with the rheumatism began to think in her own mind, who will bring me food? That night, God appeared to her in a dream. He did not cure her rheumatism though. He appeared to her in a dream, and that he took her out of the house and pointed on the right hand to an immense mountain of bread and on the left hand to an immense mountain of butter. And when I read that, I said to myself, my Lord, what a place that would be to start a political party. And he said to her, these belong to your father. Do you think that he will allow one of his children to starve? What a place would Ireland be with the mountain of bread and butter? Until I read these two sermons, I hardly believed that in this day and generation anybody believed that God would make a child an idiot simply because the mother had prayed for his sweet dear life, or that God's wishes are only in dreams. But so it is. Orthodoxy has not advanced upon the religion of the Fiji Islander. It is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Now we are told that there is a God, and nearly every nation has had a God, generally a good many of them. You see, the raw material was so cheap and gods were manufactured so easily that heaven has always been crammed with the phantoms of these monsters. But they say there is a God, and every savage tribe believes in a God. It is an argument made to me every day. I concede to you that fact. I concede to you that all savages agree with you. I admit it takes a certain amount of civilization, a certain amount of thought to rise above the idea that some personal being, for his own ends, for his own glory, made and governs this universe. I admit that it takes some thought to see the universe is good, and all that is good, and every star that shines is a part of God, and I am something, no matter how little, and that the infinite cannot exist without me, and that therefore I am a part of the infinite. I admit that it takes a little civilization to get to that point. And from here, I shall continue in the next episode again. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to our Positive Atheism English Channel presented by Samaram channels, which has crossed more than 20 crore views. Please like, subscribe and share our videos, and for notification of our new videos, please click the bell icon.